I'm 24 now, and up until recently, it's just been trying to figure out my, what I want to do with life, and I don't find it necessary to have my roots down too strongly at any one place in order to get that done. I don't think that I need a shitload of material possessions, and we're doing style. Like, I have style without without a closet or spending a hour and a half teasing my hair. I was born in Bellingham, Washington, which is between Seattle and Vancouver. When I was 7, my parents sold everything we owned and bought a boat in Jersey and moved us on the boat, where we lived on for 3 years. My dad was a commercial fisherman for 15 years, and then he met my mom. She was terrified of the water. He gave that up, became the vice president of a health insurance agency, was miserable. Right before their 10th anniversary, my mom had a dream that a witch was pointing at the ocean, and took it as she had to get over her fears. So my dad took her to a bed and breakfast in the islands, like he always did for an anniversary, and she brought him to the marina and said, "I'm ready." 2 months later, he had sold all his shares in the company, sold our house, everything we owned, all very close. So it was my mom, 3 boys, a husband, and a male dog on a boat for 3 years. It's a really amazing experience. My favorite place probably I lived was Cuba. It's just genuine smiles, and the air about people is, it really instilled in me that you don't really need a lot to be happy. I've always felt a deep connection with Native culture, and when I was 10, I started going to Sweat Lodge and taking part in pipe ceremonies, going to the lodge to powwows. And when I was 12, the man who first brought me to the Sweat, there's a rite of the people called the making of relatives, where if you love someone as family and they love you as family, you can have a public ceremony, a public announcement of naming them as family. So I have two sets of parents. My birth parents, who you've heard mostly about, and then my native parents. I came to New York as, someone scouted me as a model, and I did that for like 2 weeks and couldn't stand it. It just wasn't me, I've always been, I wanted for someone to style me. I'm like, it wasn't working out. Even on the Bruce Weber shoot, they're trying to put all this shit on me. I'm just taking it off and putting my shit back on. I'm a musician. I'm the vocalist in the band Dog Soldier Society. Formed at Collective Hardware about 1.5 years ago. And our first song was called Fire on the Bowery. 2 months before a fire destroyed everything I owned and our studio, and put me into another state of homelessness. It's sometimes it's necessary to cleanse, and this was by no means a conscious decision to cleanse, but you got to shed your skin every once in a while, especially after the fire that burnt everything I owned that was bigger than in my pockets. So most of everything I have right now is wearable.
You keep it on you?
Yeah, I keep it on. My precious thing's on me at all times. This one's an old piece of Navajo silver, but I found it at my friend's house when we were cleaning out one of the closets. He didn't even know it was there, so this one was just like a found piece. What actually happened is my brother just had a baby, and he was really concerned about, and I got off the plane, he was really concerned about like traveling germs because it was a newborn baby. So that's why I went home. So I went and I went to a vintage store and bought all new clothes so I could just, go and hold the baby. My native dad, he's a taxidermist, and he was cleaning out his old taxidermy shop, and he was going through a barrel of junk, and this was sitting at the bottom of it. It's a World War II Cloven X, a fighter pilot outfit, which is great, that has heating coils running through the entire thing, and a plug-in where you plug it into the airplane, so when you're 30,000 feet above the ground, back in 1943 or whatever it was made, you would plug in and it would heat you up. And it's really old, and it's from Afghanistan, and it's astrolite, amber, amethyst, and garnet set in silver, and it's like 100, 200 years old. It's necessary to make real music these days because we've gone so far into the plastic, into the contrived, we've perfected our mathematical equation to a point that it's not interesting anymore. And if if it's not interesting, then why listen to it? If it doesn't make you feel something other than wanting to dance or fuck or whatever it is, you know, then why even do it? You know, like, those are great reactions. Don't get me wrong. I love to dance. I love to fuck. But if that's all you're giving me with the music, then I've lost interest already. If you're gonna wear clothes, don't let them wear you. Is a big thing with me. It's like, if you're gonna put something on and it's wearing you, take that motherfucker off, because it's not you. And you know, you just get be comfortable in just your skin, and anything else on top of that is gravy.